Welcome. Take a slow, gentle moment now to arrive exactly where you are. Allow yourself to settle into a position that feels comfortable, supported, and natural for your body. You may choose to sit, or you may choose to lie down. You may rest your hands softly by your sides, on your heart, on your belly, or anywhere they can be still without effort. There is no perfect posture you need to discover. There is no special state you need to create before you begin. There is only this quiet invitation to arrive, to pause, to soften, to let yourself be here as you are. If it feels good, gently close your eyes. If you prefer to keep them slightly open, allow your gaze to become unfocused, soft, and restful. Feel the simple fact that you are here now. Notice that you have entered a moment that does not ask you to achieve anything. There is nowhere else you need to go. There is nothing you need to prove. There is nothing you need to fix before you are allowed to rest. For this time, you are not required to be productive, composed, efficient, impressive, cheerful, strong, or certain. You are not required to carry everything so tightly. You are not required to perform calm in order to receive calm. You are simply invited to begin. Let the surface beneath you hold your weight. Feel the steadiness under your body. Feel the quiet support beneath your back, beneath your hips, beneath your legs, beneath your feet, beneath your arms. Let your shoulders soften a little. Let your jaw loosen a little. Let your forehead smooth just a little. And if your mind is still full, if thoughts are still moving, if the day is still echoing inside you, let that be all right. You do not need to fight your mind into silence. You do not need to earn this meditation by arriving already peaceful. You are allowed to begin from exactly the place you are in. If you are tired, you are welcome here. If you are emotional, you are welcome here. If you are uncertain, restless, overwhelmed, guarded, distracted, or quietly hopeful, you are welcome here. Let the whole of you be included. Let no part of you feel rejected from this moment. This meditation is not asking you to become someone else. It is inviting you to return to yourself, to return gently, to return honestly, to return with patience, and perhaps, as you settle, you can begin to feel the possibility that for these next moments, nothing more is required from you than your presence. That possibility may feel unfamiliar. It may feel relieving. It may feel subtle. Just let it be there. Let yourself breathe inside it. Let yourself rest inside it. Let yourself slowly understand that this can be a place where you stop holding yourself together so tightly. This can be a place where you step out of pressure and into permission. This can be a place where the inner voice softens, where the body comes down from effort, where the heart is met with kindness rather than demand. Take a slow breath in, if that feels natural, and let it leave the body softly. Again, breathing in gently, and breathing out gently. With each breath, allow yourself to arrive one layer deeper, not by trying hard, but by no longer rushing away from yourself. You are here now. This moment is here now. Your breath is here now. Your body is here now. Your quiet inner life is here now. And simply arriving like this is enough. Now bring your awareness to the breath itself. Notice the inhale as it enters. Notice the exhale as it leaves. There is no need to change the rhythm. There is no need to force the breath deeper. Let it be natural. Let it be ordinary. Let it be exactly as it is, and simply begin to notice it with patience. Perhaps you can feel the breath most clearly at the nostrils, where the air enters cool and leaves a little warmer. Perhaps you feel it in the chest, a gentle widening and softening. Perhaps you feel it in the belly, rising and falling in quiet waves. However you experience the breath is enough. Rest your attention there. Let your awareness become intimate with this simple movement that has been carrying you all day, all night, all your life, whether or not you noticed it. Let the breath become less like a task and more like a companion, something steady, something reliable, something that meets you without judgment. As you breathe, imagine that the inhale creates a little more space inside you, a little more room in the chest, a little more room in the throat, a little more room around the thoughts in the mind, and let the exhale become a quiet invitation to release. To release a little effort, a little holding, a little unnecessary tension. Not all at once, not by force. Just gradually, breathing in, making space. Breathing out, softening. Breathing in, receiving. Breathing out, letting go. If the mind wanders, simply notice it and return. If thoughts pull you away, return. If planning begins, if remembering begins, if worrying begins, return. Not harshly, not impatiently, not as though anything has gone wrong. Just return. This is part of the practice. The mind moves, and you return, again and again. This returning is not failure. This returning is the meditation itself. Notice the small arc of the inhale. Notice the turning point at the top. Notice the release of the exhale. Notice the pause, if there is one, before the next breath begins. Let the breath teach you something quiet about life. That not everything needs to be controlled. That some things can be trusted to unfold. That the next inhale arrives by itself. That the next exhale leaves when it is ready. And you can rest inside that rhythm. You can lean into that rhythm. If it feels comfortable, allow the outbreath to become a touch softer, perhaps a little longer, but only in a way that feels easy and kind. Let the exhale tell the body that it is safe to loosen. Let it tell the nervous system that not every moment is an emergency. Let it tell the heart that it does not need to stay braced against everything. Stay with the breath. Keep company with it. Let it become a thread leading you inward, downward, deeper into this moment. Let it become a path away from pressure and toward presence. Let each breath remind you that you do not have to earn stillness. You only have to stay long enough to notice that it has been waiting here for you. As your awareness settles with the breath, begin to bring that same gentle attention into the body itself. Feel the weight of your body being supported. Feel the places where you are being held. Notice the texture of the surface beneath you, the firmness or softness, the steadiness that is carrying you now. Let yourself receive that support more fully. You do not have to hold everything up alone in this moment. You do not have to keep yourself suspended in effort. The ground, the chair, the bed, the floor, whatever is beneath you, is willing to carry some of the load. Let yourself trust that, even a little more than before. Bring awareness to the top of your head. There is nothing to fix there, only a quiet invitation to soften. Let the scalp relax. Let the forehead smooth. Let the muscles between the eyebrows release. Let the eyes rest. Let them become heavy and calm in their sockets. Relax the temples. Soften the cheeks, unclench the jaw. If the teeth are touching, allow a little space between them. Let the tongue rest naturally. Relax the lips. Soften the throat. Let the neck release. Bring awareness down into the shoulders, and imagine all the invisible effort you have carried there beginning to melt. So much gathers in the shoulders. Responsibility, pressure, self-protection, the tension of continuing, the tension of preparing, the tension of holding it all together. Let the shoulders drop even a fraction. Let relief travel down the arms, into the elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Let the hands be quiet. Let them stop grasping. Let them rest with nothing to prove. Bring awareness to the chest. Notice if there is any armor there, any subtle holding, any emotional tightness. You do not have to remove it, just breathe near it. Let the front of the body soften. Let the upper back widen. Let the middle back soften. Let the lower back be supported. Feel the spine gently releasing into gravity. Bring awareness to the belly. Soften the belly completely. Let it be natural. Let it rise and fall without control. Let it be unguarded. Let it be soft. Bring awareness to the hips and pelvis. These deep places where so much tension and so much feeling can quietly live. Let them become heavy. Let them sink. Relax the thighs. Relax the knees. Relax the calves. Relax the ankles. Relax the soles of the feet. Relax every toe. Imagine now that your entire body is hearing a quiet message from your awareness. A message that says, you do not need to stay ready for everything right now. You do not need to remain so tightly held. You may soften. You may unclench. You may be supported. You may rest. Let this message move through the muscles, through the breath, through the bones, through the deeper nervous system. Let the body understand that this moment is not asking it to be vigilant. Let the body begin to trust stillness. Let the body begin to trust gentleness. Let the body begin to remember what ease feels like. And as the body softens, begin to sense the possibility of inner safety. Not perfect safety. Not certainty about all things. Not the guarantee that life will never hurt. Just enough safety for this moment. Enough safety to stop performing. Enough safety to stop pretending. Enough safety to stop carrying your inner world as though it always needs to be hidden. Many people learn how to keep going long before they learn how to rest. Many people learn how to smile, respond, adapt, cope, and continue while carrying quiet exhaustion underneath. Many people learn to become useful rather than vulnerable, composed rather than honest, efficient rather than tender. And sometimes that is how survival works. But here, in this meditation, something different is possible. Imagine that around you, or perhaps within you, there is a soft field of calm protection. It may feel like warm light surrounding the body. It may feel like a peaceful room. It may feel like a quiet clearing in nature. It may feel like being held in a silence that does not judge you. However it appears is enough. Let yourself rest inside that sense of being held. In this space, you are not being measured. In this space, you are not being compared. In this space, no one is asking whether you have done enough, healed enough, tried enough, achieved enough, or handled things well enough. In this space, your worth is not under review. Your humanity is enough. Your presence is enough. Your breath is enough. Imagine what it feels like to stop defending yourself for a while. To stop explaining yourself inwardly. To stop justifying your tiredness, your feelings, your needs, your limits. Imagine that this space says to you, without words, you do not need to be different before you are allowed to rest. You do not need to have it all figured out before you are allowed to be held. You do not need to hide your softer places. Let that message move into the body, into the chest, into the belly, into the shoulders, into the mind. And if some part of you does not quite trust it yet, let that be okay too. Even that doubtful part is welcome here. Inner safety is not always instant. Sometimes it is learned slowly, one quiet moment at a time, one breath at a time, one experience of not being attacked by your own mind at a time. Let that learning begin or continue now. Let your awareness become less like a spotlight, searching for flaws, and more like a lamp creating warmth. Let yourself feel what it is like to be with yourself without criticism for a few moments. What it is like to be with yourself without pressure. What it is like to be with yourself in a way that is steady, non-demanding, and kind. Rest in that as best you can. Let it deepen slowly. Let it become more believable, more inhabitable, more real. Now bring your awareness toward the center of the chest, the heart space. Not as an idea, but as a felt area of the body. Notice the gentle movement of the breath there. Notice whatever is present there. Warmth, heaviness, openness, guardedness, tenderness, numbness, pressure, quiet. Whatever is there is welcome. You do not need to create a feeling. You do not need to force love to appear. You do not need to push your way through anything. If it feels comforting, imagine placing a hand over your heart, or actually place a hand there. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Feel the simple truth that you are here with yourself. So often the heart goes unnoticed until it hurts. So often it is asked to carry without complaint, to hope, to absorb, to protect, to continue, to love, to recover, to stay open and careful at the same time. And over time, the heart may learn to guard itself. It may tighten. It may grow quiet. It may hide its softer truths behind busyness, distraction, numbness, or strength. So here, do not ask the heart to open on command. Instead, sit near it with gentleness, with patience, as though you are sitting beside someone who has been through a great deal and deserves tenderness more than interrogation. Let the breath touch the heart area. Inhale, making space around the heart. Exhale, softening around whatever is held there. Inhale, allowing. Exhale, easing. Perhaps the heart does not need to reveal everything. Perhaps it only needs to know it is no longer being ignored. Perhaps it only needs a witness. Let yourself become that witness. Let your awareness say quietly, I am here. I am listening. I do not need to force you. I do not need to fix you before I hear you. I am willing to stay. Feel what happens when you offer your own inner world this kind of presence. Feel what happens when the heart is approached not as a problem, but as something living, feeling, sacred, and worthy of respect. If emotion stirs, let it stir. If stillness remains, let it remain. If the heart feels distant, let distance be part of what is noticed with compassion. Nothing has to be overcome in this moment. You are only being asked to stay in gentle relationship with yourself. Stay near the heart. Breathe near the heart. Rest near the heart. Allow the heart to be exactly as it is while being held in awareness, warmth, breath, and non-judgment. As you stay close to the heart, gently begin to acknowledge what you may be carrying emotionally. You do not need to tell the whole story. You do not need to understand every layer. But perhaps there is something in you that has been waiting to be recognized. Perhaps there is stress you have been moving through for so long that it has begun to feel normal. Perhaps there is sadness you have not fully named. Perhaps there is disappointment, old or recent. Perhaps there is loneliness that never found the right words. Perhaps there is grief, obvious or hidden. Perhaps there is emotional fatigue from constantly being the strong one, the capable one, the one who manages, adapts, helps, responds, keeps going. Perhaps there is quiet hurt from not feeling fully seen. Perhaps there is tension from holding expectations, responsibilities, or old memories in the body for too long. Maybe there is simply the heaviness of carrying more than your heart was ever meant to carry alone. See if you can allow that truth to exist without minimizing it. Without saying it is not a big deal. Without comparing it to someone else's pain. Without rushing to explain it away. Just let yourself quietly admit, there has been weight here. There has been effort here. There has been pain here. There has been tiredness here. There has been more on my heart than I always let myself acknowledge. Let that admission be gentle and honest, not dramatic, not overwhelming, simply true. Notice where this emotional weight may live in the body. Perhaps the throat tightens. Perhaps the chest grows heavy. Perhaps the shoulders tense. Perhaps the belly holds it. Perhaps the jaw grips. Simply notice. Let your awareness meet those places with breath rather than judgment. You are not indulging weakness by acknowledging what is heavy. You are practicing honesty. You are practicing inner respect. There is courage in not abandoning your own experience. There is healing in no longer pretending that everything has been easy. Let your awareness say, inwardly, I see that this has been hard. I see that something has been carried here. I see that some part of me has been working very hard to continue. And let that seeing become a form of relief. Sometimes the heart softens not because the burden disappears immediately, but because it is no longer being carried invisibly. Stay with that. Stay with the truth of your own human weight, and let that truth be met with gentleness. Now notice whether, mixed into what you carry, there may also be. Listen carefully for the inner voice that says you should have handled things better, that you should be over this already, that you should not need rest, that you should be stronger, calmer, wiser, more disciplined, less emotional, more productive, more healed, more everything. Notice the quiet pressure to always be improving, always be coping gracefully, always be enough by someone else's standard. Notice how familiar this voice may have become. Notice how quickly it appears when you are tired, uncertain, emotional, or struggling. You do not need to hate this voice. You do not need to attack yourself for attacking yourself. Many inner critics were built out of fear, built out of trying to stay safe, built out of trying to become acceptable, built out of believing that harshness would protect you from pain, rejection, or failure. But notice now what that voice has cost you. Notice how relentless pressure drains warmth from the heart. Notice how self-judgment keeps the nervous system tense. Notice how constant internal correction leaves little room for genuine healing. Imagine now that this voice begins to lose some of its authority, not because you silence it by force, but because you stop believing that it is the deepest truth about you. Imagine those old judgments written on leaves floating down a stream. Watch them move away, one by one. The judgment that you are not enough, floating away. The judgment that you should be further along, floating away. The judgment that your struggles make you weak, floating away. The judgment that you must earn worth through exhaustion, floating away. Let perfectionism loosen. Let comparison loosen. Let shame loosen. Let the exhausting need to always improve before you are allowed to relax begin to soften and dissolve. You are not a machine. You are not a performance. You are not a list of outcomes. You are a living human being with a heart, a body, a history, a nervous system, and a deep inner life. Your worth does not vanish when you are tired. Your worth does not vanish when you do not know. Your worth does not vanish when healing is slow. Let that truth settle in. Let the part of you that is always waiting to finally be enough hear something new. You do not need to remain in the courtroom of your own mind. You are allowed to step out. You are allowed to stop prosecuting yourself. You are allowed to speak inwardly in a different voice now. A gentler one, a kinder one, a truer one. From this softer place, begin to offer yourself compassionate words. Not words that feel too grand or too distant, but words that can actually enter. Words that feel like they might be able to land in the body and the heart. Silently, inwardly, allow phrases like these to move through you. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to be kind to myself. I do not need to be perfect to deserve care. I do not need to earn love through struggle. I am allowed to move slowly. I am allowed to be in process. I am allowed to have limits. I am allowed to soften. I am allowed to begin again. I am allowed to be human. I am enough in this moment, even while I continue to grow. I can meet myself with patience. I can speak to myself more gently. I can choose tenderness over harshness. I can let my heart breathe. I deserve the same compassion I would offer someone I love. Let one or two of these phrases stay with you. You do not need all of them. Perhaps one sentence is the sentence your heart has been waiting for. Perhaps it is, I am allowed to rest. Or, I am enough in this moment. Or, I can be gentle with myself. Or, I do not need to be perfect to deserve love. Let the chosen phrase travel with the breath. Breathing in, hearing it. Breathing out, receiving it. Breathing in, letting it enter. Breathing out, letting it settle. Notice if the body responds. Perhaps the shoulders soften more. Perhaps the chest opens a little. Perhaps tears gather. Perhaps resistance appears. All of that is okay. You do not need to force belief. It is enough to allow possibility, enough to let kind words reach places that are used to pressure, enough to let a new tone exist inside you, even briefly. Self-love is not always loud. It is not always a strong feeling. Sometimes it is the smallest act of non-violence toward yourself. Sometimes it is the decision to stop speaking inwardly in the voice that wounds. Sometimes it is the willingness to remain close to yourself when you feel imperfect. Sometimes it is simply refusing to abandon yourself again. Let the affirmations become a quiet atmosphere inside you. Let them soften the edges of old fear. Let them become nourishment. Let them repeat gently, naturally, like warm water moving over stone. Stay with them for a while. Let them keep working on the deeper layers. Let them touch the tired parts, the younger parts, the guarded parts. Let them offer what harshness never could. Now imagine a warm light gathering in the center of your chest. It may be golden, rose-colored, soft white, pale amber, or perhaps simply a felt warmth without a clear image. However it comes is perfect. This light is gentle. It is steady. It is tender. It does not rush. It does not demand. It does not overwhelm. It simply begins to glow. With every inhale, it brightens slightly. With every exhale, it spreads slightly. First, it fills the heart space, warming the center of your chest. It moves around the ribs. It softens the sternum. It brings warmth to all the emotional places that have gone cold from too much effort, too much guarding, too much pain, or too much self-protection. Let the light spread into the shoulders, melting old burdens. Let it travel down the arms and into the hands, soothing everything you have tried to hold. Let it rise into the throat, loosening what has gone unspoken, what has stayed tight, what has been held back. Let it move into the face, the jaw, the eyes, the forehead, easing tension and softening expression. Let it descend into the belly, warming fear, soothing tension, quieting the places that brace. Let it move into the back and spine, comforting the parts of you that have stayed strong. Let it continue into the hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet, until the whole body is quietly illuminated from within. Now imagine that this light is not merely warmth. It is compassion. It is healing. It is a kind intelligence that knows how to move gently toward what hurts. Let it reach the parts of you that have felt unseen. Let it reach the parts that have carried shame. Let it reach the parts that learned to harden too soon. Let it reach the parts that still wonder whether they are worthy of love. Let it reach the exhausted places. Let it reach the lonely places. Let it reach the frightened places. Let it reach the self-critical places. Wherever this light touches, imagine something softening, not disappearing all at once, not being erased, but softening, becoming less frozen, becoming less defended, becoming less alone. Feel how healing can arrive as tenderness. Feel how healing can arrive not by forcing transformation, but by bringing warmth to what has long lived in coldness or pressure. Let the light move patiently. Let it pause where it needs to pause. Let it return where it needs to return. Stay with it. Breathe with it. Let it hold what the mind cannot fix. Let it comfort what words cannot fully reach. Let it remind every part of you that gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is a form of repair. And now, beyond the light inside you, begin to sense that compassion also exists around you. Imagine the space surrounding your body becoming soft, warm, and quietly loving. Perhaps it feels like being wrapped in a blanket of light. Perhaps it feels like being held by stillness. Perhaps it feels like being surrounded by the calm presence of nature. Perhaps it feels like love without a face, care without conditions, support without demand. However it feels is enough. Let yourself imagine that you are not alone in this moment. Let yourself imagine that you do not have to generate every bit of healing from effort alone. There is something powerful in receiving. And for many people, receiving is difficult. Perhaps you are more familiar with giving. Perhaps you know how to show up for others, how to be there, how to help, how to hold, how to comfort. But receiving for yourself may feel unfamiliar. It may feel vulnerable. It may feel unsafe. So let it happen slowly. You do not need to open all at once. Just imagine that compassion is available to you, that it is moving toward you without asking you to explain yourself, without asking you to prove your worth, without asking you to become easier, better, or more lovable first. Let this surrounding compassion touch your shoulders. Let it rest at your back. Let it encircle the heart. Let it soothe the nervous system. Let it meet the part of you that is always bracing. Let it meet the part of you that expects criticism. Let it meet the part of you that believes it must carry everything alone. Imagine that this field of compassion whispers something simple and true. You do not have to do all of this by yourself. You do not have to wait until you are broken to deserve care. You do not have to be tireless to be worthy of tenderness. You can be held now. You can receive now. You can let softness reach you now. Feel what that does in the body. Perhaps the breath deepens. Perhaps the chest loosens. Perhaps the shoulders drop. Perhaps nothing dramatic happens, and instead there is only a subtle feeling of being less alone. Let that be enough. Stay with the sense of being met. Let the surrounding compassion become real enough that the body can begin to trust it, even if only a little. Let it become a new possibility. The possibility that support can exist. The possibility that softness is safe. The possibility that you are not too much for compassion. The possibility that you do not need to earn the right to be held. Now allow everything to become a little simpler. Let the words inside you grow fewer. Let yourself rest in stillness. There is nothing more you need to do. Nothing you need to solve. Nothing you need to figure out. Nothing you need to improve in this moment. Let the breath breathe itself. Let the body rest. Let the heart simply be. If thoughts come, let them come and go. If feelings move through, let them move through. You do not need to chase them, interpret them, or resist them. Stay with the quiet. Stay with the warmth. Stay with the sense that in this moment, you are allowed to exist without striving. Let yourself feel the dignity of that. Let yourself feel the relief of not having to manage every part of your inner world. Let stillness do its gentle work. Imagine that all the parts of you are sitting down together now. The striving part, the tired part, the hopeful part, the sad part, the guarded part, the loving part, the younger part, the responsible part, the uncertain part. Let them all be here. Let them all breathe the same breath. Let them all rest in the same field of kindness. Nothing must be pushed out to create peace. Sometimes peace comes when nothing is exiled. Sometimes peace comes when every part is finally allowed to stop running and simply be held. Stay in that understanding. Let it be quiet. Let it be spacious. Let it be slow. If a simple phrase wants to remain with you here, let it be something like, I am here, or I am safe enough in this moment, or I am allowed to rest, or I can be gentle with myself. Let the phrase be soft, not forced, or let silence take over. Let your presence be enough. Let the fact that you are still here, still breathing, still willing to remain close to yourself, be enough. Rest long enough to feel the nervous system settling. Rest long enough to feel the body trusting the surface beneath it. Rest long enough to feel the heart no longer needing immediate answers. Rest long enough to remember that your softness is not failure. Your tenderness is not weakness. Your need for care is not a burden. Rest here, breathe here. Remain here in the simplest possible way. Now imagine that ahead of you there is a path. You do not need to move physically. Only imagine it. A quiet path, peaceful and gentle, appearing before you in the inner landscape of your mind. It may be a forest path, or a garden path, or a soft path through an open field at golden evening. There is no right version. Let it arise naturally. You stand at the beginning of this path feeling calm, curious, and safe. The air around you is gentle. The light is soft. The ground beneath your feet feels steady and welcoming. There is no rush to walk. There is no destination you must reach quickly. This path is not about arriving somewhere impressive. It is about traveling inward in a way that feels kind. Begin to imagine yourself walking slowly along this path. With every step, your breath remains soft. With every step, your body stays relaxed. With every step, the mind grows quieter. The path beneath you is easy and natural. There is beauty around you, but it is not demanding your attention. It simply exists. Trees perhaps sway lightly in the breeze. Wildflowers may move softly along the edges. The sky may hold warm light or early dusk. Somewhere in the distance, you may hear water moving quietly. Somewhere above, the air feels spacious and open. As you walk, notice that this place does not judge you. It does not compare you. It does not ask you to explain who you are or why you feel what you feel. It simply allows you to be here. With each step, feel yourself growing more grounded, more held, more at home within yourself. If thoughts arise, let them drift behind you like leaves left on the path. If old worries try to come with you, let them become lighter as you move forward. You do not have to solve anything right now. You are simply walking, breathing, receiving, softening, and as you continue, imagine that this path knows exactly how to guide you toward deeper gentleness. You do not need to lead it. You do not need to know where it goes. You only need to follow it. Let the path symbolize trust. Let it symbolize the possibility that not every step in life must come from struggle. Some steps can come from softness. Some steps can come from surrender. Some steps can come from letting yourself be guided by what feels kind, calm, and true. As you continue walking along this peaceful inner path, you begin to notice a quiet clearing ahead. The path opens gently into a beautiful, still place. Perhaps it is a meadow surrounded by trees. Perhaps it is a calm lakeside touched by evening light. Perhaps it is a garden full of softness and silence. However it appears, it feels deeply safe. In the center of this place, there is a place for you to rest. A comfortable stone warmed by the sun, a soft blanket of grass, a smooth wooden bench, a cushion near the water. Let it be whatever feels most welcoming. Slowly move toward it and allow yourself to sit or rest there. Once you are settled, take a moment to notice the atmosphere of this place. The light is gentle. The air is kind. The sounds are soft and few. Nothing is pressing on you here. Nothing is chasing you. Nothing is demanding performance. This is a place where your heart can breathe. A place where the nervous system can understand, perhaps more deeply than words can teach, that safety and softness can coexist. Look around in your mind's eye and notice the details that make this place feel healing. The movement of leaves, the quiet presence of water, the warmth of earth, the open sky, the stillness, the simplicity. Imagine that this place belongs to no one but also welcomes you completely. It has been waiting for you, not because you earned it, but because rest has always belonged to you, even if you forgot. Sit here for a few moments inwardly, letting your breath match the rhythm of this place. Slow, easy, spacious. Let this place begin to mirror something within you. The calm that already exists beneath the noise. The steadiness that already exists beneath the fear. The tenderness that already exists beneath the armor. You do not need to create those things. Only remember them. Only uncover them. Only let them return to the surface. Feel yourself being met by the place itself, as though the earth beneath you, the air around you, and the quiet all around are saying, "You may rest here. You may lay down what you have carried. You may belong here without performing. You may soften now." And as you rest in this inner sanctuary, imagine that before you there is a body of still water, a lake perhaps, or a slow wide river, or a pool so calm it reflects the sky. The surface is almost completely still, and yet alive with quiet presence. Move closer to this water in your imagination, while remaining comfortable and safe. Look into it and notice how calm it is. Notice how it reflects light without effort. Notice how it receives without resisting. And as you look at this water, begin to sense that it can hold whatever you bring to it. This is a place where nothing needs to be hidden. Imagine that each thought, worry, expectation, or burden you have been carrying can be placed on a leaf and set gently upon the water, one by one, without hurry. If a particular burden comes to mind, place it there, the pressure to be enough. Place it on a leaf. The fear of disappointing others. Place it on a leaf. The exhaustion of carrying too much. Place it on a leaf. Self-judgment. Place it on a leaf. Old hurt. Place it on a leaf. Uncertainty. Place it on a leaf. Unspoken sadness. Place it on a leaf. There is no need to do this perfectly. Simply imagine the burdens becoming visible, becoming lighter, becoming something you can release into the water's care for a while. Watch each leaf drift slowly away, not with urgency, not because you are forcing yourself to let go all at once, but because some things do not need to stay clenched in the hands forever. Let the water carry them for now. Let the water hold what you do not need to grip so tightly. Notice what the body feels like each time something is released. Perhaps a small softening, perhaps a deeper breath, perhaps only the possibility that holding is not the same as safety. Continue gently. More leaves if needed. More burdens if they arise. Or simply sit beside the water and watch what is already floating away. Let the movement of the water teach you about release. That release does not have to be dramatic. It can be gradual. It can be rhythmic. It can happen breath by breath. Let the surface of the water reflect back to you a calmer version of being. Not a perfect version. A softer one. One who is no longer gripping quite so hard. One who knows that letting go, even a little, is not losing yourself. It is returning to yourself. Now, as you remain by this quiet water, begin to notice the sky above. It may be bright with gentle daylight, or touched with the warm colors of sunset, or holding the soft blue stillness of early evening. Whatever it is, let it be spacious. Let it be open. Let it remind you of the vastness that exists beyond the small, tense, repetitive thoughts of the mind. So often the mind narrows. It circles. It contracts around worry, around judgment, around fear, around unfinished things. But above you now, the sky is wide open, receptive, without strain. Let yourself breathe with the sky for a moment. Inhale, receiving spaciousness. Exhale, releasing mental tightness. Inhale, opening. Exhale, softening. Imagine that the spaciousness of the sky begins to enter your mind. Not emptying the mind completely, but widening it. Giving thoughts more room. Giving feelings more room. Giving your inner life more kindness and less confinement. If there are thoughts that have felt repetitive, imagine them becoming smaller within this larger sky. If there are judgments that have felt loud, imagine them becoming distant echoes in a wider openness. The sky does not need to argue with clouds. It lets them pass. It does not fear weather. It holds it. It does not collapse because something appears within it. It remains vast. Let your awareness become more like the sky now. Spacious enough to hold thought without becoming trapped in it. Spacious enough to hold feeling without being overwhelmed by it. Spacious enough to let things move. Breathing with this openness, sense that you are bigger than the story of this moment. Bigger than the fear of this week. Bigger than the judgment that has tried to define you. bigger than the tired identity that says you must always carry more than you can hold. You are not only your stress. You are not only your pain. You are not only the voice that criticizes. You are also the space in which those things arise and pass. Let that realization settle in gently. You do not need to grasp it intellectually. Simply breathe it, feel it, live in it for a few moments. Let the sky above become the spaciousness within. Let the mind remember openness. Let the heart remember room in this openness. Begin now to bring your attention toward compassion for the younger parts of yourself. Not necessarily a specific age, unless one appears naturally, but the earlier versions of you that learned to adapt, protect, and perform in order to be safe, loved, accepted, or less hurt. Imagine, if it feels right, that somewhere in this peaceful place there is a younger version of you. This younger self may appear clearly, or only as a sense, or perhaps not visually at all, but emotionally. However they appear is enough. Notice them gently. Do not rush toward them. Simply let them be there. See if you can sense what they might need most. Safety, warmth, reassurance, softness, permission to rest, permission to feel, permission to not be perfect, permission to not carry everything alone. In your imagination, slowly move closer. Let your presence be calm and non-threatening. Let your younger self see in your face or in your energy that there is no judgment here. You are not here to criticize what they felt, how they coped, or what they needed. You are here to offer what may not always have been offered enough. Tell them, inwardly if you wish, you do not have to do this alone anymore. You are not too much. You are not a burden. You do not have to be perfect to be loved. You do not have to disappear to stay safe. You do not have to earn rest. You do not have to become harder in order to matter. Let those words reach them slowly. If they need more distance, allow it. If they come closer, welcome it. If they only want to be seen from afar, let that be enough. Imagine offering them a blanket, or a hand, or simply a calm presence beside them. Let them feel that they are not forgotten. Let them know that the adult self within you now is willing to become kinder, more protective in a loving way, less abandoning. Let them know they do not have to keep carrying every old fear by themselves. If emotion rises, let it rise gently. If tenderness comes, let it come. If nothing obvious happens, trust that even the act of imagining this is meaningful. Compassion for the younger self is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply this: refusing to continue the cycle of inner harshness, refusing to leave the earlier self behind, refusing to speak inwardly in the same painful voice. Stay with this younger part for a while. Let them feel seen. Let them feel safer. Let them feel less alone in the larger space of who you are now. When it feels right, imagine that the younger part of you can rest nearby, safe in this healing place, while you continue breathing. Sense that something has softened simply through being witnessed with kindness. Now bring awareness back to your own heart and to the body resting or sitting wherever you are. Notice the steadiness of the breath. Notice the support beneath you. Notice the warmth or stillness in your chest. Let your attention now expand gently to include gratitude, but not forced gratitude. Not gratitude used to dismiss pain, and not gratitude used to bypass what is real. Instead, let gratitude arise softly for simple things. Gratitude that you paused. Gratitude that you stayed. Gratitude that you breathed. Gratitude that even within struggle, there is still a place in you capable of receiving softness. Gratitude for the body that continues. Gratitude for the breath that stays with you. Gratitude for the possibility of change that does not come through self-hatred, but through self-compassion. If other small things come naturally, let them come. The warmth of light, the steadiness of the earth, the memory of kindness, the feeling of being held for a moment by something quiet and true. Let gratitude be simple. Let it be gentle. Let it be embodied rather than conceptual. Notice where in the body gratitude lives when it appears. Perhaps as warmth in the chest, perhaps as softening in the throat, perhaps as tears, calm, relief, or a sense of fullness. Let gratitude mingle with rest. Let it not be another effort, simply something you notice and receive. Breathing in, thank you. Breathing out, I soften. Breathing in, thank you. Breathing out, I receive. Let gratitude become another form of warmth moving through the body. Another reminder that even after difficulty, tenderness still exists. Even after exhaustion, beauty still exists. Even after self-judgment, kindness still exists. Stay with that for a little while. Let gratitude deepen without pressure. Let it remain honest. Let it remain soft. Now imagine that the peaceful place around you grows even quieter. The light becomes softer, the air stiller, the atmosphere more deeply restful. Nothing is ending yet. Nothing is being taken away. Instead, the meditation is inviting you into an even deeper layer of rest. Imagine that the earth beneath you has a steady, comforting pulse, almost like a quiet heartbeat beneath everything. With each pulse, you feel more grounded, more supported, more at home. Let your body respond to that pulse. Let your breath follow it if it wants to. Slow, gentle, rhythmic. Imagine that with each pulse from the earth, a message moves upward through you. You belong here. You are held here. You may soften here. You do not have to carry everything alone. You do not have to keep proving your worth. You do not have to rush your healing. Let these messages rise slowly through the body, from the feet to the legs, through the hips and belly, into the chest and throat, through the shoulders and arms, into the face, the eyes, the top of the head. Let the whole body receive them. Perhaps imagine roots gently growing from your body into the earth beneath you, not to trap you, but to steady you, to anchor you, to remind you that support is available, that you do not have to float alone in uncertainty. These roots carry away some of the excess tension, some of the fear, some of the pressure. And in return, the earth sends steadiness upward, quiet strength, patient presence, endurance without hardness. Let yourself receive that. Let your body learn from the earth. The earth does not rush to bloom. The earth does not judge itself for winter. The earth does not apologize for needing cycles. Let that wisdom settle into you now. You are allowed cycles. You are allowed slowness. You are allowed rest. You are allowed becoming. Breathe with that. Stay with that. Let your whole being soften into this deeper groundedness, and now, from this deep place of grounded calm, imagine that the light in your heart and the stillness around you begin to merge. The compassion within and the compassion around are no longer separate. The warmth inside you and the support outside you belong to the same quiet field of healing. Let yourself rest in that unity for a while. You do not need to hold on to one and search for the other. It is all here. The breath, the body, the heart, the earth, the light, the spaciousness, the softness, the willingness to stay with yourself. All of it belongs to this one moment of deeper remembering. If there are parts of you that still resist, let them rest here too. If there are parts that still doubt, let them rest here too. Nothing needs to be forced into peace. You are simply allowing more and more of yourself to stop running, to stop defending, to stop bracing, to stop striving for a little while. Let that be enough. Let this moment become almost wordless inside you. Let it become more feeling than language, more presence than thought, more receiving than doing. If you notice the mind trying to take over again, simply return to the breath, return to the body, return to the quiet field of compassion, return to the feeling of being held, return to the heart. This can happen again and again, as often as needed. There is no failure in returning. There is only practice. There is only remembering. Stay here, rest here. Be here as you remain in this deeper stillness. Notice how time seems different here, slower, softer, less demanding. There is no schedule within this breath, no urgency within this heartbeat, no performance within this silence. Let yourself imagine that for these moments, you are outside the ordinary measuring of things, outside the need to be getting somewhere, outside the habit of evaluating whether you are doing enough, simply resting in existence itself, simply resting in being alive. Sometimes that can feel unfamiliar, because so much of life is spent in motion, in response, in effort, in anticipation. But here there is another possibility, the possibility that you do not have to earn every moment through strain, the possibility that being can be enough, the possibility that rest is not wasted time but sacred time, time in which the body restores, the heart softens, the mind loosens, and the deeper self becomes audible again. Let yourself feel what it is like to be unmeasured for a while, to have no inner scoreboard, to have no test to pass, to have no invisible audience to satisfy. Let the relief of that travel through you. Let it soothe the tired parts. Let it comfort the parts addicted to pressure. Let it reassure the parts that only know how to keep going. Tell them gently, we can rest now. We can stop now. We can breathe now. We can just be for a while. And then stay with that. Stay long enough that the body begins to believe you. Stay long enough that the heart believes you. Stay long enough that even the mind begins to quiet its objections. Rest here. Let the silence keep holding you. And now, very gradually, begin to sense the possibility of carrying this softness back with you. Not all of it perhaps, and not in a perfect way, but enough. Enough to matter. enough to influence the next conversation you have with yourself, enough to soften the next harsh thought, enough to change the next breath, enough to remind you later that there is another way to be with your own heart. Begin to gather the feeling of this meditation inwardly, the feeling of being less at war with yourself, the feeling of being met by compassion, the feeling of the heart being witnessed rather than pushed, the feeling of burdens becoming lighter, if only a little, the feeling of your body being allowed to rest. You do not need to package it neatly. You do not need to understand it perfectly. Just let it become part of you. Let it settle somewhere in the nervous system, somewhere in the breath, somewhere in the memory of the body, so that later, in ordinary life, some small part of you might remember. Remember the softening of the shoulders. Remember the kindness in the inner voice. Remember the light in the chest. Remember the still water. Remember the sky. Remember the younger self being met with care. Remember that rest did not destroy you. Remember that tenderness did not make you weaker. Remember that allowing yourself to be human did not make you less worthy. Let all of that begin to integrate now, quietly, naturally, gently. This is how deeper practices continue after the words are gone. They remain in the way you breathe, in the way you pause, in the way you speak inwardly, in the way you respond when the old harshness returns, in the way you choose, maybe just once more, not to abandon yourself. Let that be the gift you carry from here. Not perfection, not a permanent state, but a truer relationship with yourself. Now slowly bring awareness back toward the physical space around you. Notice again the air on your skin. Notice the temperature of the room. Notice the sounds close by and farther away. Notice the weight of your body resting where you are. Feel the surface beneath you. Bring awareness to your hands and your feet. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently wiggle your toes. You might roll the shoulders softly, or move the jaw, or stretch the neck. If your body wants a fuller breath, let it come. Inhale slowly and deeply. Exhale softly. Again, a fuller breath in, and a long, easy breath out. Let the return be gradual. There is no need to rush. Stay kind as you come back. Stay gentle as awareness broadens. And before you open your eyes, offer yourself one last quiet moment of gratitude. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for remaining. Thank yourself for being willing to listen inwardly. Thank yourself for any softness you allowed, any honesty you allowed, any release you allowed. Thank yourself for practicing a gentler way. Let one final truth settle in your heart now. You are worthy of kindness now. You are worthy of compassion now. You are worthy of rest now. You are worthy of love now. Not later, once you have improved enough. Not later, once you have healed enough. Not later, once you have become some ideal version of yourself. Now, exactly now. When you feel ready, slowly allow the eyes to open. Let light return gradually. Let the shapes of the room come gently back into focus. And as you continue into the rest of your day or evening, carry this with you as softly and faithfully as you can. You do not need to become someone else before you are allowed to love the person you already are.